Now, let's welcome the visiting Nashua Southampton, coached by Scott Knight. Now, let's hear it for your hometown Bedford Bulldogs. Bulldogs are coached by Scott Knight. Officials for today's game are referee Dan Moyen, umpire Roland St. Germain, back judge Gerald Benicio, linesman Mark Redmond, and line judge Bob Patricio.
Okay, we're going on in just a second.
We might get cut off from the anthem, just so you know.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bedford High Stadium here on the campus of Bedford High School. We are ready to bring you football action with the Nashua South Panthers and your Bedford Bulldogs. I'm Harry Kozlowski here with Corey Monster Tiger, and we really didn't know we were going to have a game today until just a few days ago.
Yeah, certainly the unfortunate events over at Pinkerton with more spread of COVID-19, and unfortunately the rest of their fall seasons for every sport across the board have been canceled a little bit early. So the Bedford High School Bulldogs were able to pull up a match here with Nashua High School South. So we are going to have some football action tonight, Harry.
And the Panthers are 1-2. I believe their only victory came against Alvern, former Division II school. The Bulldogs are 3-1 and are tied for second place in the North Conference. And this is actually a tune-up for the playoffs that will start next week.
Yeah, I was just talking with Corey Parker downstairs, and we were discussing some of the scenarios for how those playoffs might work. It hasn't been fully flushed out right now. They're going to meet tomorrow morning to determine whether it's going to be seeding or drawing from a hat and trying to determine the matchups. But obviously Bedford will continue on to the playoffs. It all just depends on who the matchup's going to be and whether it'll be a home or away game.
And I know there was some talk about Bedford being kind of the bubble of all the football games in Division I. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I know it's been discussed. It looks like Bedford won the toss and is elected to defer.
Yeah, it will remain to be seen whether they get a high seeding or whether they're just going to draw from a hat for that matchup. But either way, we should know some information by 6 p.m. tomorrow is what Mr. Parker was describing today, and we should have the next matchup determined by then.
Oh, the mystery will be killing us until then, I guess. So, like I said, the Bulldogs won the toss. They're going to defer. Nashua South is going to receive, and we're going to take a moment now to stand for the national anthem. So let's listen in. And the Bedford High Band performing the national anthem. Good to have them back. Last week, of course, because of the rain, they weren't performing, but we will have a performance by them at halftime. And we'll carry that for you here on BCTV 23 and Bedford 105.1.
We're going to jump back into their Beatles-themed halftime show. Always an entertaining few minutes to watch them perform. They put a lot of hard work and effort into practice, both with their music itself as well as the field show. So it'll be exciting to watch them at halftime.
And the teams are coming out on the field right now. Panthers will be going from our left to right.
Wearing their white uniforms, so white pants, white shirts with purple numbers and purple helmets. The white stripe down the middle. Bedford has their home blacks on, so black pants, black jerseys, black helmets, white numbers. Little red trim on the shoulder.
A color combo we are used to seeing here.
And we're still seeing the pink all over the place for October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Some socks, some sleeves. We're ready for Joe Michael to kick it off here tonight.
And Joe Michael is kicking it off, and it's kind of a squibber, and it's caught by the up man, and he's brought down right at the 39-yard line. That was number 17, Jaden Murphy for the Nashua South Panthers.
They'll take over at their own 39-yard line. So decent field position to start for Nashua South.
We want to welcome all the fans watching us on Nashua 16. They're picking up our telecast of the game. Happy to have you here. Hope you'll enjoy the broadcast as we bring it to you. And the Panthers come to the line of scrimmage. You're sending three receivers to the right.
Into the boundary, but they motion out.
Motion there by Tyler Armisen. And the sweep is to the left, and it gains about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Like just a zone play to the outside there, trying to use the field and some speed.
So 2nd down and 6 now from the 43-yard line. This is the first possession of the game.
Christopher Keith, quarterback's in the pistol, and he'll keep it up the middle.
And he winds up picking up about 2 yards, gets it up to the 45-yard line, and it'll be a manageable 3rd and 4. They need to get to the 49.
Yeah, manageable. Key word there, Harry, because, you know, you want to try to stay on schedule. We talk about that frequently. And 3rd and 4 is not too, not too challenging compared to, say, a 3rd and 13. You have a few more plays to call. You have some more options, pass, run. And they're going to pass.
Keith rolls out to his left, hits his man, and they're going to pick up the 1st down into Bedford territory to the 47-yard line. I believe that's Tyler Armin who was the receiver on that play. And I was right.
Yeah,
so,
good feet there by Armin. He caught the ball right there at the sticks, but was able to make a juke and get some extra yardage there. So I think he had the 1st down right on reception, but still was able to get a few more yards.
There's a snap and a handoff up the middle to Jason Campo, and he picks up about 5 yards on that play. Panthers moving the ball quite well on their first possession.
Yeah, they certainly are. All positive yardage plays so far, keeping on time and within the right downs and distances to give their offense some flow.
And it's 2nd down and 5 from the Bedford 42. A jump on the part of the Bulldogs. Number 74, Sam Lacombe, getting a little too eager there. He's going to give the Panthers a free 5 yards. That might be just enough to give them a 1st down. We'll find out here.
Yeah, neutral zone infraction, and the near side judge is saying it's going to be a 1st down.
So they're going to move the ball up to the 47. The chains move, and it's another 1st down here for the Nashua South Panthers with 10-12 to play here in the first quarter. No score. Yeah. Panthers on the first possession.
Inside 2 minutes, and they're already on the Bedford 37.
Here's a snap, and it's going to be a handoff to Campo, who's going to be dropped for a loss. Caught in the backfield. Dylan Kumbani was one of several Bulldogs who was able to break through and bring down Campo. And it's a loss of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Good run support by Kumbani there. He came up on the outside, And as you mentioned, Campo had to stiff arm Henrishon, but Henrishon was there disrupting the flow of the play, and Kumbani came up and cleaned it up.
So just the first negative play here for the Panthers, playing relatively mistake-free ball. A roll out to the left and a great pass there. That was to Nicholas Scopa, I believe, number 37.
I think that was back to Armin, 21, Tyler Armin. That was a tough
Tyler
throw
Armin,
tough throw for Keefe too. I mean, he's rolling to his left. He's got to get his hips and shoulders around and deliver that ball. And it was a great ball to the outside for Armin. Made up some yardage, and now it's short, 3rd and short.
Not quite the first down, but like you said, they're on the 29-yard line. Need 2 more here. And Keefe's going to keep it. Finds a gap, breaks through, and gets it down to the 18-yard line. That's going to be enough for a new set of downs. First down, Nashua South.
Yeah, Keefe, as you said, he kept it tucked right in behind Colby Vancelette, big number 52, one of the offensive linemen. Looked like he was a pulling guard there, able to get out and around and lead the way for Keefe.
So 1st and 10, a snap and a handoff to Campo. He powers his way up. You know, I was going to say, Campo's a big boy.
He sure is. He sure is.
He towers over most of the other players on the team.
Roster has him at 6 foot 228, so he's a big boy running the ball back there.
Yeah, he looks bigger than that. He plays bigger too. He's definitely took a few Bulldogs with him there on a 2-yard pickup, gets him down to the 15-yard line. It'd be 2nd down and 8. Armin gets the handoff on the sweep. He has a lane to the end zone. He scores. Touchdown, Nashua South. Tyler Armin with a 15-yard sweep to the left and scores.
Yeah, the defense just lost their outside leverage there. You got to give credit to the Nashua South Purple Panthers. They got out and around and made a great running lane for Armin to take advantage with the speed all the way to the outside. And that sweep turned into a first touchdown of our night here for a 6-0 and maybe a 7-0 lead for the Purple Panthers.
And Chris Keefe is going to hold the ball now for number 2, Evan Wilson, to try the extra point. Ball's down, kick is up. It's kind of low, and it is good through the upright. So 7-0 Nashua South scoring on their first drive. Really perfect football on that drive. Just one play lost them some yardage, but they were able to keep the ball moving forward, and they took advantage of one Bedford penalty and one breakdown there on the play, on the coverage on the run play there.
Yeah, sure. As you said, efficient football. Kept the ball moving forward except for that one play you talked about. And efficiency, you know, staying on schedule. And
I think any team coming in here, if they play a solid game, don't limit the mistakes, get something on every play, you've got a good chance of being competitive. And so far, they have a lead here, 7-0. They've kind of dropped the gloves on the Bulldogs, and now the Bulldogs have to respond.
What we've seen earlier this year from the Bulldog defense is that they'll flex, right? They'll bend but not break. Unfortunately, that time they broke with that 15-yard touchdown run. So we'll see how they recover. We'll see if they make any adjustments along the way to try to limit the South offense.
And Wilson's kick goes to Kumbani, gets it at the 15-yard line, looking for a gap. Instead, he hits a wall of white jerseys right at the 30-yard line. That's where they're going to mark Bedford to start 1st and 10. They're trailing 7-0 to the Nashua South Panthers.
It's a good kick. Did pretty deep down there to about the 15-yard line. So Kumbani had a 15-yard return. And as you mentioned, ran into a wall of kickoff coverage players from Nashua South.
Now the Bulldogs will take their turn on offense. 3 receivers, 2 are to the right, 1 to the left. Irwin is in the backfield. Joe Michael with the handoff, gives it to Irwin. He fumbles the ball. And it looks like Michael was able to fall on it. The Panthers say they've got it, but I think Michael was quicker, and he did. He kept the possession there.
Yeah, miscommunication there. It seemed like Irwin wasn't quite sure he was going to get the ball, and Michael wanted to pull it down last second. And
a play action that they couldn't agree on there.
Yeah.
So that's going to drop him back 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Kudos to Michael for pouncing on that ball and pulling it away from those big defensive lineman down there.
So 4 receivers set, not 2 on each side. Michael alone in the backfield. Alex Zwickau moves to the end. Michael drops back, waits. Now he's going to take off. No, now he throws. It's incomplete. It was intended for Owen Christopher, who couldn't hang on to the ball. It would have been a small gain, but now it's going to be 3rd and 13.
Yeah, tough situation here. Again, first drive, you're looking to not go 3 and out. You want to make sure that you try to establish some offensive possession time, and now you're in a 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 situation. So it's a big down here early on in the game.
And you've got a series here where you've had a couple of miscues, a drop pass, a fumble on a handoff. So they've got to limit those mistakes here. 7:34 to go here in the first quarter. 3rd and 13. 4 receivers out there right now. Michael all alone in the backfield. In the shotgun, takes the snap, drops, has some time, throws. Intended for Solomon Sanchez, and he was able to get a hand on it, but he couldn't haul it in, so it's going to be a punt now, 4th and 13.
Yeah, excellent ball by Joe Michael. Put it right there, and unfortunately, Solomon Sanchez only got one of those mittens up there. Couldn't pull it down.
And it was right between 2 defenders, too, so
yeah,
he was throwing into double team coverage there. So it was a fairly accurate pass, just a little bit too far for Sanchez. And now the Bulldogs will have to punt it away.
They go 3 and out. Sanchez is going to be back to punt.
And Jaden Murphy for the Panthers will be at the 35-yard line waiting for the ball. That'll come from Sanchez's foot, assuming that this is not a fake.
With that in mind, South's likely going to have good field position.
Pretty good kick there by Sanchez. It's going to drop right at the 50-yard line. No, it hits Owen Christopher in the back, so that means the ball is going to be downed at the Nashua South 49-yard line. So a great drive start here for the Panthers, who currently lead by 7. It's 7-0 here with 7:19 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. Owen Christopher, he's cutting down the field trying to cover, and he can't really look back and up to figure out where that football is. And just bad spot, bad time. It bounced off his helmet on the 50-yard line, so that's where South will take over.
So, yeah, right at midfield is the spot, not the 49.
Well, we'll see if they changed anything. Maybe they come with pressure. Maybe they changed their front situation. So there's still 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. And the ball.
Oh, here's a fumble. That was a drop snap there by Chris Keefe. It was kind of a low snap. He was able to jump on it, though, but he loses some yards, gets it back to the 46-yard line.
It was at his knees, so it didn't look like it was on his shoelaces or anything, but, yep, bobbled it, and it's a broken play. So loss of 4.
Now the snap. And a run to the right by Keefe. Winds up getting back 3 of those yards.
Yeah, excellent play by Parker Henrishon. He's playing the outside linebacker position. He came up and took on 2 blockers and forced the run back inside where he knew he had help. Great play on the outside contained by Henrishon.
So now it's 3rd and 12 here at the Panther 49-yard line. Bedford could use a stop to erase that last 3 and out.
See if they can return the favor here with 3rd and 11.
Keefe rolling to his left, throws.
Ooh.
And it's going to be way out of bounds. Intended for Tyler Armeen, but it was nowhere near inbounds, so it's going to be 4th and 12, and the Panthers will likely have to punt here.
You see, that throw right there actually illustrates how well he did that on the last possession, because, again, he's rolling to his left. That's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback. Again, has to get his shoulders and hips around and make a good throw to that outside cutting receiver.
And that was his 3rd attempt at that kind of pass, and the first 2 were right on the money. That one was a little too far. Now, is this a punt? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it looks like they're not as deep as a normal punter would be. Okay.
So it's kind of a quick kick there. Drew Fleury. The ball actually takes a Panther roll.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty deep down to the 16-yard line. That's where Bedford's going to start out. I think that was a curious setup because it was neither fish nor fowl. It wasn't exactly as deep as a punt formation, and the rest of the team was in position as if they were ready to go on a pass or a run play. So that kept Bedford wondering what was going on.
Yeah, sometimes they do that if they don't have a tremendous amount in their tremendous amount of confidence in their long snapper. It's a 10-yard snap instead of that 14 or 15-yard snap that you might normally see on a punt. And as you said, their punter, number 4, Drew Fleury, caught it, wandered to his left a little bit, and found that he had plenty of room to get that punt off.
So 1st and 10, they're going to be at the 15-yard line here, Bedford is. It was a play action, and it was intended for Aaron Scaling, and a little off the mark there, another incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Bill Jennings passing along a note to me saying that Nashua North is leading Londonderry 14-0. So that's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, that last play looked a little bit jumbled in the offensive route running with the 2 receivers to the left with Scaling and Sanchez. They were very close to each other, maybe trying to work on a rub route. And defender fell down, and the timing was all messed up.
And here's a handoff to Irwin. He's going to get swallowed up in the backfield. He's going to wind up losing a yard.
Yeah, Irwin's had some success earlier this year with cutting that ball back up inside, but in this case, it looked like he had more room to the outside. It's easy to see from up here instead of when you have 11 guys in white jerseys chasing at you and slobbering and spitting and trying to tackle you down to the ground. So
another 3rd and long here for the Bulldogs. They went 3 and out last time, trying to avoid that here. They're sending everybody out, 4 receivers, empty backfield.
Zwickau, tight right.
Michael's got some time. He's going to throw it for Kumbani, but he just overthrows him. It'll be 4th down.
Another 3 and out here. It's a tough way to start the game, 2 3 and outs. It puts a little more pressure on your defense to try to come up with some stops early on.
So the Bulldogs will have to punt here.
Now that last 3rd down, Joe Michael was right on the money to Sanchez. This one, obviously, as you saw, was just a little over Kumbani's head.
So if Sanchez is back, he's going to be punting from his goal line.
And this is the snap distance that you might normally expect, about 14 yards.
Jaden Murphy's at the 50-yard line for the Panthers.
Ooh.
And nearly blocked there. And it's going to be kind of a short kick that's going to take a Panthers bounce and downed deep in Bedford territory. Only got it out to the 31-yard line. So really just a 16-yard net gain there. So the field position keeps getting better for the Panthers, and they lead 7-0. And again, welcoming all the fans on Nashua 16, joining us on this broadcast on BCTV 23 and 1072, as well as Bedford 105.1 radio.
And those fans are going to be excited as the Purple Panthers have started quite well here.
And both their teams are doing well. North is leading Londonderry, as we mentioned earlier, 14-0. So there's 4:58 to go here in the first quarter. The snap and handoff to Campo, and he just fights his way up to the 24-yard line. Campo's hard to bring down. His size and power winds up gaining about 7 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, he got hit early, too, right at the line of scrimmage and bounced off a couple of tacklers.
He just shakes him off.
Dragged a few along the way, too, for that 7-yard gain. Tough running by the big back.
So 3 receivers set here. Campo in the backfield. Keefe is going to hold it. Now he's going to go to his left. Breaks off 1 tackle. Shakes another. Now he's got enough for the 1st down. Goes out of bounds just around the 11-yard line. It's going to be 1st down, Nashua South.
And we talked about Henryshawn doing a really good job making that contain on the last drive for Purple Panthers. This went to the other side, and unfortunately they didn't have that same contain.
Well, Keefe showing some great balance there, able to shake off 2 tackle attempts by the Bulldogs.
Like Finn O'Neill coming up on the outside.
Here's another run by Keefe. He's going to go up the middle and gets it to the 9-yard line, picking up 2. Actually, correction. He picked up 6 yards there, 5 yards. They're going to mark him down at the 8-yard line for 2nd and 5. It's not a goal to go situation yet. They can't get a 1st down around the 3 or 4 yard line.
Yes,
and we got a timeout now.
Now this is another defensive infraction here. They're jumping into the neutral zone. They're doing something crafty here where their tight end is actually standing up and checking with the quarterback. He's allowed to do that. He's not a down lineman. So he's making a motion on that snap count, and they're drawing the defense off. Number 34 is a little crafty there. That's Connor Rosell.
So now it's going to be 1st and 4. And Keefe carries it in for a touchdown all by himself, a 4-yard score there. So just like that, 13-0, Nashua South in the lead, taking advantage of that great drive start on the Bedford 31 on the short punt. And then the penalty there, the encroachment penalty, putting him down close to the goal line.
Short field makes it really convenient for that offense. So they were able to take advantage. They took over on the Bedford 32, and only a few plays later have scored their 2nd touchdown as Keefe runs it in from the 4.
So the extra point try. Evan Wilson with Keefe holding for him. We get a whistle here and a flag down. What's the indication? Is this on the Panthers? They're indicating offsides, which is an unusual call for the offensive team, especially when you're just lining up.
Yeah, it could have been that the snapper might have messed around with the ball there and faked the snap. Occasionally they'll call that on him.
So now it winds up being a 25-yard attempt instead of 20 for the extra point.
As you mentioned, that first extra point was a little low, so it isn't a sure thing here.
And it's a low-line driver.
Still got it.
That just barely gets over the crossbar.
Looked like a high soccer shot, but
yeah,
still, he put it through, and that's all that counts. So
that's right.
He gets that extra point. It's 14-0, Purple Panthers.
But when the ball's driving that low, somebody on the Bedford line really needs to get their hand up.
Yeah, sure. If they get a press up in the middle, one of the big offensive linemen gets a solid push. They can get their big paws up in the air and possibly get a fingertip on it. So 14-0, the Bulldogs are going to need to make a couple of changes, both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, if they want to scrap back into this game.
So there's 3:38 to play. This quarter kind of moving along slowly with all the incomplete passes and scoring plays.
And that last kickoff by Evan Wilson was pretty deep. He had Kambani back on that 15-yard line. Good strong leg.
Wilson's kick. It's going to go down to about the 18-yard line. Sanchez picks it up. He had to walk back to get it. And he runs into several Panther players, but he does get the ball up to about the 27-yard line. That's where the Bulldogs will start. 1st and 10, 3:30 to play in the first quarter. They're trailing 14-0.
And last week we harped on it, field position, field position, field position. And we're seeing the same thing except for the opposite success. You know, Bedford has started on their own 30, their own 16, and now their own 27. And it puts a little bit more pressure on the offense and the defense if they're fighting field position the whole game here.
So now Bedford in a bit of a hole here, down 2 scores.
2 3-and-outs. Okay, so Irwin tucks up.
Handoff to Irwin on the inside. Takes a shot, but recovers and winds up getting the ball up to about the 35. That's going to be a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, he got popped by Connor Rosell there, right in the middle of the hole. Took it about face-to-face and was able to shed that and gain about 5 more yards after that initial contact. So good job shedding that initial contact and tackle.
That was the biggest offensive play of the night for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, 7 yards.
Maybe they'll go back to the ground game a little bit to not get too worried about being behind 2 touchdowns. They still have more than 3 quarters to make up that deficit.
Sure, they might want to get some consistency and flow.
And it's Owen Christopher with the carry up to the 40-yard line. That's going to be good for a 1st down. So positive plays, that's what it's all about. Just keep the ball moving forward. Don't make any mistakes. Don't worry about the time. You've got 3 quarters to play. They can still get this through. Now they're saying that Christopher was down at the 38-yard line.
They're still going to give him the first line.
Yeah,
first
still
down, yep.
just enough for the first down. Just barely got to the marker.
That's a tough call. The referee doesn't want to necessarily waste time by bringing the chains out and measuring and whatnot. So he makes a judgment call that they had enough and keep the clock going, keep the game flowing. And Bedford has their first down of the night after 2 3-and-outs in their first 2 possessions.
And this time Michael's going to drop back. He's looking for Sanchez. The throw almost makes the connection there. Actually, that was for Scaling. At the 27-yard line of the Panthers, he had one-on-one coverage, but he couldn't quite come up with the ball.
Yeah, blanket coverage back there by Tyler Armin, who's put up some good offensive plays so far. And there he comes up with a good pass defense deep down the field with about 25, 30 yards from scrimmage.
Another update from Division I North now, 20-0 over Londonderry. Merrimack 7-0 over Alvern in the first quarter. So now 2nd and 10, Bedford on their own 38-yard line. Michael's going to go to the air once again. He's got to evade the rush. Hits Alex Zwickau over the middle, and that's going to pick up just 2 yards. Panthers were there ready and waiting.
Yeah, that was that middle screen there. They did a good job sniffing that out. Both the linemen and the linebackers were there in the area and held Zwickau to only a 2-yard gain.
Matthew Harding was one of the Panthers there on the tackle. So now 3rd and 8. Bedford at the 40-yard line. They've got to get to their own 48 to keep things going. Down 14-0 here in the first quarter.
I'd like to see them do a little bit of an intermediate pass game here. They've seen some long balls here, but need something about, 12, 13, 14 yards.
Here's a blitz. They've got to run. It's going to be a hold, I think, on Bedford. The completion to Scaling is enough for the first down. He gets to the 49-yard line, but I think that's going to come back.
I think you're right, and that's a tough call in my opinion. They had a blitzing linebacker right up the middle.
Cody Good was the one who just timed that right, hit the seam. And the only way to keep him from getting to Michael is by hauling him down.
Yeah, so, again, they're negative position with negative yardage plays, penalty in this case. So they're going to go back to about a 3rd and 23 or so, as that is a spot foul and 10 yards from it, and they were behind the line of scrimmage where that happened. So it's going to be another tough 3rd down for the Bulldogs here.
They keep finding themselves in these 3rd and longs. Bad plays, negative plays, penalties, keep putting them in the hole here. So they're going to call this, is it really 3rd and 27?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Again, that spot foul. It puts them way back.
Wasn't sure if that scoreboard was right, but now it's a 4-receiver set. Michael, he's going to go down the sideline for Christopher, and Christopher couldn't turn around and adjust to the pass. It was behind him, but he couldn't turn around and get the ball. He could have had a first down if he had made that connection. So it's going to be 4th and 27, Bedford punting one more time.
Those are the ones where you really try to practice with your receivers looking over the right shoulder. In this case, Christopher was looking over his inside shoulder, but the ball was delivered on the outside shoulder. If he had been looking over that outside shoulder, it might have been a little bit easier to track it down and haul it in, but it's really tough to adjust when you're in that position, either spinning around or pivoting backwards.
And that's a high snap that Sanchez had to pull down, a low line driving punt. That's going to bounce at the 48-yard line of Bedford, and it'll die right there. So once again, Panthers will be starting in Bedford territory at the 48-yard line. 29.8 to go in this quarter. They're leading 14-0. Bedford really not doing anything on offense, just one first down so far.
Yeah, and they've had a struggle on offense. 3 punts, 2 3-and-outs, and then that negative holding call is really put that offense in a tough position.
Yeah,
They've had to rely on the long balls, and they haven't really had success with those long pass plays to the outside.
And that holding play, I mean, it was one of these things where if he didn't hold number 33, Cody Good, he probably would have sacked Michael anyway, so it would have been a negative play either way. Handoff up the middle by Campo. He breaks through. Finally brought down by Dylan Kubani and Solomon Sanchez, but not after he picks up about 25, 30 yards. He gets it all the way to the 22 of Bedford. Big gainer there by Campo.
A big gainer by the big back. He shed off a couple of arm tackles at the line of scrimmage and then got his wheels going.
So the Panthers are unstoppable so far in this first quarter. 10 seconds to go. We'll see if they get the snap off before the end of the quarter. They do. And there's going to be a flag here. The handoff went to Tyler Armin, a sweep to the left. He's pretty much stopped with just a yard or two of gain, but let's see what the flag is.
I couldn't tell if there was a hold there or maybe an illegal shift. It looks like it's going to be on the offense here, says they're walking backwards.
Waiting for the official signal on that penalty.
Well, legal formation.
Say, legal formation. And that's going to move him back 5 yards.
It's usually if that outside player is not up on the line of scrimmage. They didn't have 7 people on the line of scrimmage. So their wide receiver was not covering up the tackle appropriately. This will be a 5-yard penalty. We'll get back to 1st and 15 as the offense looks to the sideline to get the play call. Looks like we're going to have a timeout.
Well, actually, it's the end of the quarter.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So
after
that's
kind of timeout.
After one quarter, the Panthers, the 1 and 2 Panthers, are surprising the 3-1 Bulldogs here, 14-0.
And threatening again as it's on the 27-yard line going in. We get some excitement from our Bedford High School marching band.
A little bit of Outcast. Hey,
yeah. One of their new stand songs that they're excited about playing.
And at halftime, they'll be putting on a show for all of us. You'll be able to hear it on Bedford 105.1 and watching on BC TV 23 and 1072, as well as Nashua Channel 16. We're happy to have our fans down in Nashua watching the game with us, and I'm sure they're enjoying it immensely.
The color guy, I'm not sure they like too much, but no, I do have some insight.
You have a history at the...
No. I don't know. Just fill in time, Harry. I do have some insight to the marching band, though, as my daughter plays in there. She is a clarinet player for the marching band. And she's shared some of the excitement that they've seen over the course of this season. They were a little saddened to not be able to play for the stands last week as it was a damp and rainy evening. But they're back and they're excited, and they're going to show you their excitement at halftime.
Well, my daughter was a band geek at West High.
Oh, I didn't use the word geek, Harry.
Well, no, she did. She called herself a band geek.
No.
It's a term of pride.
Fair enough.
With especially at the West High band. She was class of 2010.
Okay. All right, Keefe gets back on the pistol, and they run a draw, and Campo adjusts, gets outside.
Still on his feet. Finally driven out of bounds. Picking up quite a bit of yardage. They're getting it down to the 10-yard line.
That was a simple draw play, and he ran into a wall right there at the line of scrimmage, but excellent vision to bounce it outside to the left-hand side, shed some tacklers, and turn that into a 1st and goal. Great effort by Campo there.
And we've got a timeout here.
They didn't time that first play, so they're going to have to adjust the clock here, probably about a 30-second runoff or so.
So actually, I was incorrect, not 2010. That was when she graduated from college. She was a class of 2006. She attended West High while Bedford was still sending their kids there. So she played with a number of Bedford students at West High. She was a flautist.
Aha.
And she enjoyed her time in band immensely. So much so that when she went to UMass Amherst, she joined that band. And that's actually one of the better marching bands in the Northeast. 400-member strong band.
That's great.
Fact, they used to say that more people came out to watch the UMass band play than watch the football team.
Not surprising. It definitely adds to the atmosphere every Friday night, so it's great to have them here.
So there's a great submarine tackle there on Keefe.
Listen, that was an excellent arm by the referee as he fired a flag and indicated a holding call. I mean, he nailed one of the offensive linemen right in the back.
I was going to say Colin Chardonnay did a great submarine tackle there on Keefe, but you're right. The flag came flying in. It is a hold. That's going to move them back 10 yards, back to about the 20.
Penalty against Panthers for a hold up to 5 yards.
So we'll have first and goal from the 19.
That's a 10-yard penalty. First down at 20 for Panthers.
So here we go. 2 in the backfield with Keefe. There's a snap and a handoff to Campo. He's off to the races. Sweeping to his left. He's driven out of bounds by Finn O'Neill.
You see, he hesitated there too on the handoff, and it looked like if he had got it cleanly, he might have been out and around that corner on the left side a little bit quicker. But he hesitated with that handoff with Keefe as he wasn't sure that he was going to get the ball, or maybe the timing was off. He still picks up a good 8 or 9 yards.
Second and goal from the 10. And this time it's going to be Keefe faking it to Campo and going up the middle, only good for about a yard or two. So here's a big play for Bedford. It's going to be 3rd and 8, 3rd and goal from the 8.
Another strong play from Henryshawn. He was getting caught right there in the option, right? So as Campo is going out to the right-hand side, flanking out, he's got to take the quarterback there. Cody, he has to rely on the outside guys to tackle Campo and cover the outside.
Cody Good out of the game, and Drew Fleury comes in for him. So now 3rd and goal. 3 receivers here. Keefe rolling to his right. He's got 2 Bedford players on him. Winds up just throwing it away, intended for Nathan Smith, I believe, number 11.
Good pressure on the quarterback by Colin Chandonnay. Use the wheels to get out there and get pressure on Keefe. So it's going to be a 4th and goal from the 8. And it looks like they're going to go for it here. Doesn't look like they have a field goal unit on.
Yeah, I guess they're not too confident with those low line drive kicks on the extra points. They're going to try to put 7 in here. So
sounds about right. And again, if you don't get it in here, the field position battle, Bedford's on their own 10 coming out. So
3 receivers all to the right. Now motion. Keefe throws it over the middle. It goes off the hands of number 21, Tyler Armin. And it's all for naught. Turnover on downs. Bedford holds. They're going to take over at their own 8-yard line.
Yeah, that's one that Armin's going to want back. It was a little behind him, but
yeah, it was kind of by his ear hole.
Yeah, it's still one of those ones where a receiver, he can adjust his body, adjust his hand position, and he's going to want that one back. He probably could have come down with that.
Yeah, that was actually an excellent play call because he was all alone. If he had made that catch, he would have just strolled right into the end zone. But instead, Bedford holds them. Let's see if this can be a turning point for the team. Down 14-0 here with 10:36 to go in the half.
Yeah, they had that inside slant, so he certainly was seeing a passing lane. Keefe could get the ball to Armin and just couldn't connect there.
There's a handoff to Irwin, goes to his right, and he's tackled there by number 56.
Big Matthew Harding on the tackle.
Winds up picking up maybe a yard, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs. The Panthers have been excellent stealing off the edges on these run plays. The sweeps have not been working for the Bulldogs here.
They sure are. They've done well with maintaining their contain, which is basically one of the defenders, whether it's an end or an outside backer, coming up and pushing the play back inside.
We've crossed the 10-minute mark here in the second quarter. Michael has to evade one tackler, but gets taken down by another. It's going to count as a sack. Jason Campo on the defense had a hold of Michael's jersey, slowed him down just enough for his teammate to bring him down. Trying to get the number. I think it was 57 who finished him off.
It's a very definition of a shirt-tail tackle there. Yes, it's worth noting that Bedford still has Menderson Ellie on the sideline. He suffered a foot or ankle injury earlier in the season, so he's missed the last 2 games now.
I want to correct that. Colby Vancelet, number 52, was the one who finished off that sack. So now it's 3rd and 13 for Bedford. Another 3rd and long. They've been having these all night. Only 1 first down for the Bulldogs so far. Michael sends the pass down for Irwin. He was in one-on-one coverage, but that was over his head. and Bedford will have to punt it away again. So another third and out, 3 and out here for the Bulldogs, who have not found their offensive rhythm.
Yeah, the junior Lorenzo Abreu was actually in the area there. Looked like he was actually turning him and taking up a position of a receiver there as the ball was closer to Abreu than it was to the Bedford receiver.
So 9:01 to go here, and Solomon Sanchez looking behind him, trying to get a beat on where that end line was so he didn't step out of bounds and give up a safety. Kind of a dying punt there that number 17, Jaden Murphy, had a dive for, but he gets it at the 32-yard line in Bedford territory. So far, I believe all but one drive has started in Bedford territory for the Panthers. They have been benefiting from some excellent field position. And it played out just the way that Coach Ray DeRusha wanted, when he went for it on 4th down on the 8-yard line, knowing that if they held Bedford, they would end up with decent field position anyway, and that's what happened.
You're absolutely right. It was a little bit of an awkward fair catch call, but they still do retain possession on that fielded punt, and with great field position at the Bedford 32.
So now 8:55 to go here in the first half. The snap and a handoff. Number 21 was the carrier, Tyler Armin. He finds his way through the line, winds up picking up 5 yards up to the 25-yard line. Actually going to call it a 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 4 at the 25.
They're working on some misdirection off of these motion plays with getting Armin in motion from the slot, timing the snap, and handing it off to him. We've seen that at least 2 or 3 times now.
Keefe with the snap, gives it to Campo. He stops. Now he moves forward, gets close to the 1st down.
A good juke by Campo there. Took the handoff, made a nice plant and a cutback, avoiding that first tackler and gaining enough for the 1st.
Campo's a senior. I wonder if he's got any college offers. He looks like the kind of player who could definitely move on and play on Saturdays.
Sure, it looks like he has the size and strength and speed to do so.
So it's 1st and 10 now from the 21-yard line. Campo getting just enough for that 1st down. Keefe keeps it. Tried to go up the middle. Changes direction, but doesn't fool anybody.
Yeah,
Tackled there by Colin Chadney, sorry about that, for a loss.
Good read by Chandonnet there, too. Again, he's trying to read that ball deception there, whether it's going to be a handoff or a keeper or giving it back to the misdirection. Sniff that one out. Negative, just about a yard loss on the play.
Right, so it's going to be 2nd and 11 now from the 22-yard line of Bedford. Panthers leading 14-0, threatening to add to that score.
Bedford put big Ryan Alwood there in the middle, too, so they're anticipating more runs, and he's going to try to fill up that middle. But
now Keefe's going to take off with it. He's heading for the corner, and he's going to be just shy. Are they going to call that a touchdown?
Yeah, it looked like he stepped out before he reached the pylon there.
He went back to pass, but the seas kind of parted in front of him. He had a lot of real estate, took off, and gets the 1st down and goal at the 1-yard line. So big play there, a big 21-yard gain there by Keefe on the keeper, and it puts the Panthers at a 1st and goal at the 1.
I wasn't quite sure if that was a designed keeper or not, or if something happened that made him change, and Campo's just going to trot in on the touchdown.
Yeah, Campo takes it 1 yard, touchdown, Nashua South. Didn't even find any resistance. Big hole opening up for him there.
Yeah, looking back at the replay from Keefe there, it was a pass play, and I think he felt the pocket collapsing around him and did well to scramble out and get all the way down to that 1-yard line to set up that touchdown by Campo.
So once again, it's going to be Evan Wilson on the extra point try. High snap, kick is up, and it is good. Again, not clearing the bar by much, but he gets it in between the up the uprights. It counts. So 21-0 now. Panthers up 3 touchdowns. And the Bulldogs need to come up with something. I wonder what Zach Matthews will be telling his kids here to get them on the board. They need to change a few things up.
They certainly do. And it all really starts, in my opinion, with the offensive futility that we've seen so far. 3 3-and-outs, one holding call, putting them way behind schedule. And their offense has really struggled here in the first half.
Be sure to stay tuned. At halftime, we'll have the Bedford High Band performing medley of Beatles songs. Be great to watch, and sure you'll enjoy it.
Harry, big news in the sporting world for you. Doc Emmerich has probably called his last hockey game. I know he's probably one of your heroes in communications here.
Yeah, not real popular in Buffalo for some reason.
Oh, you and this Buffalo stuff. You're killing me.
Hey, you know, what can I say? You know, when, you know, if one of us, if you had moved to New York City, you wouldn't become a Yankees fan.
That's probably true. It's probably true.
So Dylan Kambani on the kickoff brings it up to about the 32-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will start. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure why he was unpopular with
Now, was he
my fellow Faber
distinctly
fans.
unpopular? Because he seemed like he was more of a national voice, right? He covered hockey games all over the place. So was it Buffalo fans didn't like him?
Oh, he probably said something they didn't like.
Okay, all right.
You got to remember, Buffalo fans are
they're fickle, huh?
not fickle. They have they're easily insulted.
Oh, okay.
The teams usually aren't very good. I'll be the first to admit that. So they take issue with anybody talking trash about their teams. Then the handoff, Irwin going to his right, gets it up to the 36-yard line.
And we saw a slight change there, okay, right? So Bedford came out and they had more of a tight formation. Most of the rest of the game they've been in spread formation. So, slot right, slot left, or twins, or trips to one side. That time their formation was a lot tighter. Maybe they're going to try to run the ball a little bit more here.
They wind up getting 6 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 4. They're at the 37-yard line. 6:30 to go here in the second quarter, trailing 21-0.
Here we go again. Tighter formation.
Just one receiver, Kubani, off to the right. Busy backfield. Looking to the sideline, maybe a change of play here.
And they might be getting some options here off of this too, right?
So sending the receivers off further off. They're going to split.
Yeah,
now they're going to call timeout. I guess they're running out of time.
That's a delay game. Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. They're going to go backwards.
Okay. I thought they blew the whistle. I thought they called the timeout. So it is a 5-yard call. And Michael and Zach Matthews have their arms outstretched.
Oh, okay. So we have the back judge in the defensive backfield throwing a flag. But okay, all right. So we're going to have not a penalty. It's going to
now they're showing the penalty call.
That is a penalty. Jeez. Okay, let's get ourselves straightened out here, Harry.
Wait, now they showed it. Okay, it's confusing. I mean, I thought they showed an indication that Bedford was taking a timeout, but I guess it's after the penalty.
Yeah, I think Coach Matthews realized time was running down on the play clock. Tried to get a timeout last second there, but the flag was already down.
So another miscue here by the Bulldogs erases that gain on first down. They're going to be marked back to the 32-yard line.
So 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 or so.
Clock is stopped with 6:02 left here in the half.
Yeah, and like I said, I'd like to see them explore a little bit more of that middle range passing game. Most of their balls have been deep. They've been going down the sidelines for a post pattern. Unfortunately, they haven't connected on any of them except for the one that was called back for a holding penalty. Tight formation again, so you have Zwickau tight right. Kambani spread to the left, but more people in and around the backfield.
And there's a snap. It's going to be a pass. And great anticipation there by number 10. That's Aiden Purrington, who made a play for the ball. It was intended for Dylan Kambani.
I think that was Keefe out there, actually. Number 12 was in pass defense and, blanketing Kambani. Almost came up with an interception. So here we go, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11 or so.
Another long one here. Bedford has only I don't think they've converted any first downs, any third downs. They have one first in this first half. They've got 3rd and 10 at the 32-yard line. 3 receivers this time. Michael dropping back. Pressure.
Uh-oh.
Overthrown and intercepted. Number 17, Jaden Murphy, gets it at the Bedford 45-yard line. So that didn't work out. Good field, another good drive start here for the Panthers in Bedford territory, and a turnover for the Bulldogs. I believe that pass was intended for Zwickau.
Yeah, Zwickau was complaining. He thought he had some contact there after the 5-yard cushion or so, and felt like he was contacted either when the ball was in the air or before, and bumped off of his pass pattern. But it sailed over his head, so it might have been uncatchable. And Jaden Murphy was in the right place, right time, and made a nice play from his free safety position to come up with that interception.
So 3 receivers to the right for the Panthers. Keefe fakes the handoff. Now he gets it out to the flat. It's going to be a pretty good gain right there. 21. Tyler Armin was the receiver. Almost a lateral pass. Gets it up to the 28-yard line, 29. So first down, it'll be 1st and 10 from the Bedford 29-yard line here with 5:45 to go.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back plays by Jaden Murphy there. First, the interception, and that one, he had a great block on the outside to spring
now Campo,
his receiver,
powering his way up the middle. Finally, it takes about half a dozen Bulldogs to bring him down, not before he gets to the 22. Gain of 7. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, half a dozen is about right. I mean, he's dragging people along the way. Good for him. Big Jerome Bettis back there, just the bus, mowing people over and dragging people along with him.
So they gave Campo 8 yards on that carry, marking him at the 21-yard line, coming up on the 5-minute mark. There's a snap and a handoff. Sweep should be good enough for the first down. Jaden Murphy on that carry.
Yeah, again, the Bulldogs were trying to keep that outside contained. In this case, they held them to only maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain, but still it's enough for that first down that you mentioned.
So he gets to the 19-yard line, just enough for them to move the chains. 1st and 10, 19-yard line, 4:50 to go. Campo leaves the field, and Drew Fleury comes in for him. I'm sure the Bulldog defense is happy to see Campo take a breather.
Yeah, we're going to go with 4 wide.
Low snap.
And still give a draw.
It's number 34 on the carry. Another big guy, Connor Rosell. He's going to get about 6 yards there, setting up a 2nd down and 4.
You know, Nashua South has done a really good job with bully ball. They're just running it right down their throat. Seeing if Bedford's going to stay in this 3-down lineman front.
Another pass. Oh, is this a lateral?
Nah, it looked like a forward pass to me.
And a penalty flag is thrown. I wonder what this calls. They're going to say it was a personal foul for trying to dive on the ball. I mean, the receiver, I didn't get his number. Maybe it was Armin, was acting like it was a fumble. He was trying to cover it up just in case the officials ruled it as a lateral. So why wouldn't a Bedford player try to dive in and get it? I hope they don't call this on Bedford, but looks like it's going to go against, no. I was going to say Nashua South players are cheering whatever is being discussed there, so it might be going against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they sure were. They were clapping along the sideline on the far side.
Are they going to call this a personal foul?
She said, I'm not sure.
Because the flag came in late. Foul. I mean, it was an incomplete pass or lateral, whatever it is. Armin covers up the ball. A Bedford player, I believe it was Kumbani, comes in. Face mask is the call. That's interesting. Maybe it was something away from the ball.
Geez, that's tough to see from 30 yards behind the play. I don't know. That's a rough one right there.
Yeah, another killer penalty here is going to move the ball and give the...
Although they only gave him a 5-yard face mask on
okay,
that,
so 2nd down and 5. They move him up to the 13-yard line. And this is pitch forward. Counts as a pass, technically. Number 34, Connor Rosell. Doesn't gain much there. In fact, doesn't gain anything. Maybe a yard. So it's going to be 3rd down here.
Another misdirection play to a guy in motion. So coming far side to near side. Little pitch, but Bedford defense did well to stop that for no gain.
So Campo's back out there on 3rd and 5. And it goes to Campo, and he powers his way forward. Will it be enough for a first? I think it will be. They get him down to the 8-yard line. Yes, they're going to give him first and goal from the 8. Panthers on the move, already leading 21-0 and threatening to add another touchdown here.
They're challenging the Bedford Bulldogs to stop them with good solid tackling up front, and the Bulldogs have not delivered. Here comes
Campo
again.
gets the ball again.
Ooh.
Lowers his head and delivers the pain.
That's a tough one right there. Number 39, Finn O'Neill, stepped up into the hole there, took on Campo, and looked like he suffered a little bit worse on that collision.
You gotta wonder what he's thinking when he sees Campo lowering his head, heading right for him.
Tough spot for a defensive back.
And they're going to give it to Campo again. This time he goes in untouched. Another touchdown for Campo. Jason Campo with his second touchdown of the night. And it's 27-0 with the extra point coming up.
Yeah, he kind of waltzed into the end zone there. Very few people coming up to stick their nose in to try to tackle him there. Somber sideline here on the near side with all of the Bedford Bulldogs looking on, wondering how they can change things here.
And this one higher, but barely goes over the crossbar. It's good, though, 28-0. The Panthers in the lead. So it's still 20-7. North in the lead. Actually, Londonderry getting on the scoreboard. 20-7 is the score now early in the third quarter. Nashua North over Londonderry. Timberlane with a 21-0 lead over Souhegan. Checking to see if we have any more scores. 14-0 Exeter in the lead. Not sure who they're playing. I love these tweets when they only mention one side.
Very informative, right?
Lebanon 14-0 over Hanover. It's a Division II score. Wanted to give a shout out to Bedford girls field hockey, losing a tough playoff match on Wednesday, I believe it was, to the Concord Crimson Tide. It was a 1-0 score. That ends their season. A good season for the ladies. And there's a kickoff with 2:39 to go. Kubani is the short man. Picks it up at the 15, carries it up to the 30 and driven back.
Oof. It's good form tackle right there.
Really drove him back.
Tyler Armin getting that head in there, shoulder into the belly, lifting up and driving. That is perfect textbook form tackling right there.
Well, the Bulldogs have 2.5 minutes here to put something together. The best thing they could do right now, just for their own psyche, is to get some offense, get a couple of first downs, and try to get some points on the board before they go into the locker room for halftime.
You're absolutely right here. Positive yardage is the first step in that.
Drew Dixon is on stats, and we will be getting his halftime report here, and we'll read it to you after the Bedford band performs. Michael throwing it for Sanchez, and that goes right off his hands. That is really uncharacteristic of Solomon Sanchez.
That's when you got to have
dropping a ball like that.
You got to have. Just to be frank, that's one you have to have. That's right in his hands.
He was open. He probably would have got it down to the 35 or 30-yard line even.
He sure would have. He had some room to run after that.
Nothing's going right for the Bulldogs tonight. That stops the clock with 2:26 to play here in the half. 2nd down and 10. Bedford at their 31. Checking out the replay on the stream.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we get here. Yeah, Sanchez ran a wheel route. Got behind the defender. The safety was coming over, but still, again, he right off his hands.
There's a pass out to Scaling, a quick out that gets up to the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 38 for the Bulldogs coming up on 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, those are the intermediate pass plays that are going to help you, right? You don't have to go for the deep ball every time. Maybe get a quick out, get a quick slant, get positive yards. Maybe you don't get the first down on it, but at least you have a manageable situation in 3rd down. As we see here, it's 3rd and 3.
I would expect Bedford to be in a bit of more of a hurry up here, although they still have 2 timeouts. but they've got to get this third down here. 3rd and 3. And it's a handoff to Irwin, who fights his way up and is going to be very close. He might not have got it. No, they're going to mark him at the 40. He needed to get just past that for a first down, so they're going to call it 4th and 1.
They're going to punt.
And they're going to punt. So once again, another 3 and out for the Bulldogs. Only one first down. Early in the first quarter, they haven't had a first down since. And I think they're 0 for on all third down conversions.
You're absolutely right. Nashua South takes a timeout here. They're going to discuss this.
And they have, they had 3 timeouts. Now they've got 2. And depending on, what their field position situation is, 118 could be enough to get another score for them. So a bit surprising here. The 3 and 1 Bulldogs getting manhandled here by a team with a somewhat inferior record, 1 and 2, although one of those losses was against a very powerful Nashua North team.
The Nashua South coaches, I'm sure, are talking about watching the ball and making sure they don't jump off sides and giving Bedford a cheap and easy one.
So Murphy's back at his 33-yard line. No, they're gonna go for it here.
Yep.
And they get the first down there. Sanchez in the Bulldog formation. We found out that's what Zach Matthews calls that play. But Murphy had to be ready just in case there was a quick kick. So Bedford converts on the first down on 4th down. Only their second first down of the game. They have 109 to work with here. Let's see what they do. They're going to put out 3 receivers.
Interesting there. Sanchez came to the sideline and got rid of his gloves. Wonder if they were bothering him for some reason.
Michael over the middle for Zwickau. It goes right off his hands. He had a lunge for that one to get past 2 defenders and couldn't pull that one in. So that stops the clock. 2nd down and 10 with 52.6 to go here.
Tough try there. Off his fingertips, but he was making a diving play just to get his hands on him. So as you said, we'll go to 2nd and 10.
We still have some time here, 52 seconds and 2 timeouts. And they're going to send out 4 receivers, empty backfield.
Zwickau tight left, so you got 5 receivers out there.
Michael
Here's a quick
sends it out to the flat to Irwin. He gets it out of bounds after picking up 5 yards up to the 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
That's the quick out that you need, right? Some yardage along the sideline. He got out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah,
So
if they work the
3rd and 5.
sidelines, I think they can at least get into field goal range.
And, given what they did last time, they're probably going to go for it on 4th down. So 2 down territory here, seemingly. 48 seconds left.
3rd and 5. Again, a 5 receiver set. Michael waiting for the snap. He gets it. Drops back. Sending out for Kumbani, and it's broken up.
Tyler Armin again, right in the mix.
That pass was just a little short. Kumbani had to pull up for it, and that gave Armin a chance to catch up to the ball.
So 4th down, 5 yards. In this case, they're going to punt it away. It looks like they're changing their personnel. Sanchez will go back and kick this away. And again, the coaches are chirping the defensive line here to make sure that they don't jump off sides and give an easy 5 yards, which looks like it would result in a first down.
So the snap, and it is a punt. Sanchez sends it to the side. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Let's see where the officials mark it. Exactly the 30-yard line. So with 36 seconds to go, Panthers get the ball. Don't forget that the Bulldogs will get the kickoff with the start of the 3rd quarter.
Well, they certainly need something to go in their favor.
Here's an update from Nashua North and Londonderry. A Londonderry fumble at the North 10 turns into a touchdown 2 plays later. North leads 28-7 with 5:35 to go in the third quarter.
Keefe hustles in from the sideline where I'm wondering if they'll run any plays here, you know.
Well, you know, when you got the momentum, I don't know. I don't really understand why you'd want to pull back.
Yeah, true. They're in a position where they can pop one here and put 35 on the scoreboard in the first half. They'll be excited. Keefe pulls it down. Oh, there you go. Ooh, good play.
Broke up the play. Are they going to call this a fumble?
No,
they're going to say incomplete pass, but that really hurt Sanchez there. Great pop to dislodge the ball, but I think Sanchez paid for that one.
It was a nice pop. The timing was critical there. Close to completion, but that timing was solid by Sanchez, but it looks like he hurt his wrist on the play.
Yeah, we hope he's not too badly hurt. He'd be a tremendous loss for this Bulldogs team. He's going to go over to the table now. His left arm kind of limp there. They hand off to Campo, gets brought down. I think the Panthers are going to be happy to let the clock run out here.
Yep. Good tackle by Henry Sean on that play as it came to his side and pulled down the big running back.
15 seconds to go.
I think you're right. They're probably going to let this run out.
3rd and 8. You know, I mean, Bedford could have called the timeout here. Force them to run a play.
Well, they are going to run one. They get it off.
And brought down. Keefe is tackled there.
Number 39, Finn O'Neill, comes up to make the stop there.
Looks like there was a little confusion there as to what they were going to do.
Well, you know, the clock was running down. They wanted to scramble to get another play off before the end of the half. They got it off, but it ended up for negative yardage. But not necessarily representative of the rest of the first half, as the Purple Panthers will take a 28-0 lead into halftime.
And it is halftime. Or like I said before, we're going to listen to the Bedford High Marching Band perform here in just a few minutes. A real quick reminder that you are listening to WBNHLP Bedford 105.1. That's our legal ID at the top of the hour. You're watching us on BCTV 23 and HD channel 1072, as well as Nashua channel 16. We're happy to have all the Purple Panther fans watching and probably enjoying this game with their team up 28-0 here at halftime. So we're going to shut our mics off. In the meantime, you enjoy the Bedford High Marching Band performing their selection of Beatles tunes. And the Bedford High Marching Band leaving the field to the strains of Hey Bulldog, wrapping up their performance here at halftime. We're about 3 minutes away from the start of the second half, and statistician Drew Dixon getting us the numbers, and they're not pretty, Drew. The total offense, 210 for Nashua South, just 37 yards for Bedford. Rushing, 177 to 13. Passing's a little bit more even, 33 for Nashua South, 24 for the Bulldogs. Joe Michaels' numbers, had him here just a moment ago. Yeah, it was 4 of 16. So that's like 25%. Meanwhile, Keefe was 3 of 7. Obviously getting most of it done on the ground. And individual performances, let me turn down that number, turn down that microphone. The two big gainers, obviously, Joshua Campo, 89 yards on 13 carries, and Keefe, the quarterback, 13 carries himself for 58. So they're the two big gainers there for the for the Nashua South Panthers.
The Bulldogs have had a real tough time containing the run tonight. The big story there, as you mentioned, Campo at almost 100 yards already, just at halftime. So they're going to have to man up, start tackling, gang tackling when and where necessary, and try to scrap their way back in.
Trying to get some updates here on some of the scores around Division I. I do want to pass along one note. Jim Flanagan wanted us to let everyone know that the boys soccer team finishing their season 6-1-1, and their playoffs begin on Wednesday. First round of the D1 playoffs will take on Goffstown, a team that they defeated earlier in the year. So we wish good luck to the boys soccer team, Stuart Pepper and his boys, as they enter the playoffs. It's the fall playoff season for just about all the sports here. The Bulldogs, even if they do wind up losing this game ugly, they still are guaranteed to move on in the tournament. We'll find out on Saturday, I think he said, right? Corey Parker said they'll find out on Saturday who and when and where they'll play.
Yes, tomorrow afternoon or early evening, we should hear about the schedule for next week.
And we'll find out if they decide to play some or all of the Division I games here in Bedford. You know, we love this facility. It's a great facility, a great press box, great connectivity, allows us to stream the games back to the studio and then out over the air to everybody. And it would be a great place to play all the games and make sure all the playoff games are shared all throughout New Hampshire to all the fans. So I guess that is a possibility. We'll find out if that's something that'll work out.
And as we've mentioned a couple times, this brand new turf facility has been an excellent new venue for the Bulldogs and all of their visiting teams to play on.
That's true. I forgot to mention that field. It is a brand new field and doing pretty well there.
Another development here. So it looks like Solomon Sanchez has taken off his pads and his jersey, will not re-enter this game as he has ice on his shoulder from that late first half injury. And that could be a strategic decision again, with the idea that, they're guaranteed to make the playoffs next week. So, what good does it do in the second half to potentially exacerbate that injury?
You are right. Hopefully he will be ready to go next week. It would be a huge loss to this Bulldog team if Sanchez were to be knocked out due to injury. We do have a score from Winnisquam and Spalding at half. No score. Defensive battle there.
I guess we don't have a score then.
Technically right. It is a score and it is not a score. There is no score. Merrimack 24, Alvern 7. That's at half. Timberlane with a 21-0 lead over Sauhegan. D1 versus D2 there. And that is all we have for you. Actually, nope, we have one more update from Nashua North and Londonderry. I'm sure our Nashua viewers will enjoy hearing this. 36-7 with 11:52 left in the fourth quarter. So they started the game a little early, and they are dominating the defending D1 champs. So who would have expected that to be the case?
Good job to North. They put together a good season.
They certainly look like one of the favorites.
They sure do. Some athletic kids on that team, with a few getting some offers for next year.
Hopefully we'll be hearing about winter sports fairly soon. Basketball for boys and girls, hockey as well.
Likely to see a delay as expected. I think with some uptick in numbers recently on the COVID diagnoses, I think they're going to try to take a cautious approach to that season, especially with all of those sports being inside. I'm going to pay attention closely to what the NHIAA wants to do and try to figure out schedules from there, see if they'll start as normal in December, or if they'll push it out to after the first of the year.
Actually, I received an email from Bill Jennings with some information on that. When we have time, I'll go over it and try to pass along some of the things that are being said here. It looks like they're shooting for a January 11th start for all winter sports. So that is good news, that we will have some sports in the winter. We'll try to get some more details for you. A little hard to read while we're calling the game for you. And we're ready to kick things off with number 2, Evan Wilson, teeing the ball up. Bedford will be going from right to left. Kicked off, and Kubani's going to pick it up at the 20-yard line. He's got some momentum, but then he gets hit pretty hard there.
Like Michael Rutstein on the tackle there. Number 18 for Purple Panthers.
Big hit. So now Bedford comes on the field, ready to take over at the 37-yard line. Fairly typical of their drive starts today, not too bad. They did have that one drive start deep in their own territory after stopping Nashua South on fourth down at their own 8-yard line. 3 receiver set here. Michael in the shotgun with Irwin. Gives it to, it's a play action and a completion to number 8, Jack Carroll.
Yeah, Jack Carroll coming in for Solomon Sanchez gets called. His number gets called on the first play. Makes a good catch, spin to the outside for an 8-yard gain.
Carroll is senior.
Good for him.
Getting a little playing time here.
It's
usually a backup player, getting some time now that Sanchez is on the bench.
This would be an interesting drive, right? So if they can come back, score a touchdown here, get a score of some sort, make this competitive, that might dictate how they treat the rest of the game, whether they want to get some substitutes in and try to rest or preserve some of their starting players.
Hand off to Irwin, who gets driven back by number 52.
Yeah, Colby Vancelat again, filling the hole right there, getting a good hat on Russell Irwin as he tries to cut up into the hole there.
They're going to give him the 46 at 45 and a half. So we'll call it 3rd and 2 here. First downs have been few and far between here for the Bulldogs. Only 2 in the first half. One of them coming on 4th down.
And that was a somewhat meaningless first down as well, right at the end of the half.
Irwin gets the handoff again. Same play. This time I think he's got enough, just barely.
Ooh.
Gets it up to the 42.
I think it's going to depend on the spot. It looks like he has enough. Yep, there you go. First down. It's a good, tough run. He carried a tackler for about 1.5 yards there to get the ball across that first down marker. They'll move the sticks.
So just the 3rd first down here for the Bulldogs, here with 10:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. They're at the 48-yard line, their own 48. And we get a whistle here. Is this a delay?
Looks like encroachment on defense. Yep.
Boy, it didn't look like very much.
No, it certainly didn't. I didn't even catch that one. It's going to go against the defense. And
No, Vanslet's like doing the W, you know what wave at the official, like, who, me?
So 1st and 5.
One of the few penalties on the Panthers tonight. Bulldogs, unfortunately, leading that category today. Shortens the field, puts them in Panther territory. Here's a handoff and a sweep by Irwin. Gets close to the first down, within 1 yard. He's at the 43-yard line. Needed to get to the 42, but it's a pickup of about 4 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 1.
Pretty basic outside run. They're getting some momentum here. Getting a little consistency, getting some forward progress here. See if they can string together a few more plays.
Second down and 1 here for the Bulldogs. Irwin gets the ball again. Ooh, fighting his way, gets to the 40-yard line. Ball comes loose, but they're going to say he was down.
Well, he took a shot by Michael Rutstein again. Came up there. Got a good pop on Irwin. Irwin's going to come to the sideline for a minute. But he did pick up the first down, so they'll move the chains again.
Pete Johnson over at Nashua TV wants me to remind all the viewers there that the Nashua North Band night will be live on Nashua TV, ETV Channel 99 at 7 o'clock Monday night. So I hope all our Nashua viewers enjoy that. So it's first down for the Bulldogs. And a handoff to Scaling on a sweep. Can't get around the edge. Instead gets driven out of bounds by Tyler Armin.
Ooh. There was a flag that came in from 25 yards deep, and the back judge, as he chucked it towards the far sideline there. I think they're going to have a personal foul, maybe roughing at
personal foul, late hit out of bounds. We'll see.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down. But there was a second flag, and it could have been a holding or something else as the play was developing around that far sideline.
Official still talking it over here.
But the Panthers came up, and again, they strung it out. They were trying to get around the outside to the far sideline there. The defense did a nice job of stringing that play out, meaning that they were standing up the blockers and preventing the offensive running back from getting that outside leverage.
That was the first time we've seen that play, that handoff to Scaling. So Zach Matthews pulling a few fresh plays out of the playbook, trying to get something started here tonight with their team trailing 28-0.
He's got to do something. Dig down there. What do you see? Like a reverse pass or a double reverse or a quarterback throwback? I'm not going to call it that certain city a little bit farther south from here, as you know, they might chirp the rest of our Patriots fans, but
finally getting a call from the official, and looks like he's making the personal foul gesture.
Yeah, that's personal foul, yeah.
It's probably a late hit out of bounds. It's going to go against the Panthers, a blow to the head. And it'll be are they indicating 2 penalties here?
Oh, jeez.
or just reiterating that it's a personal foul? 2 penalties.
Marched off 15. Jeez, I don't know if they're going to march off another 15. Yikes.
Wow, talk about a big break. They are.
Ooh, yep. That's
Half
absolutely
distance to
what
the goal,
happened.
so this is going to be putting the Bulldogs within scoring distance. They're going to get it down to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 13 with 8:24 to go. They didn't indicate any ejections, did they, on that play?
I didn't see any ejections signaled from our referee, but that was Bedford's longest positive play of the game, and unfortunately it comes on 2 penalties.
Here's the throw outside.
Good tackle.
Yes, number 21 making the catch there. Owen Christopher gets it down to the 10-yard line, picks up 3, and the tackle was by
33, Cody Good. Good open field tackle, got up there, squared his shoulders, kept a good balanced position, and was able to make that open field tackle on Christopher.
So they're going to mark him at the 11-yard line, a 2-yard gain. Make it 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs.
So they have some momentum here. They're threatening. Got red zone now. Those 2 critical large yardage penalties have certainly helped.
Panthers shifting around on the defensive line here. Could be a blitz. It's a handoff to Christopher. Gets around the right side and in for the touchdown. Owen Christopher with an 11-yard carry gets the Bulldogs on the board. It's 28-6.
It looked like there was some miscommunication along the defensive line. As you mentioned, they shifted into a what looked like a 4 or 5 down lineman, defensive lineman set. And that shift was along their defensive right side, the offense's left side. And as you said, they got leverage to the outside after that shift, and were able to trot in for that 11-yard touchdown. We're going to have a penalty here, though.
A false start
on the offense.
Or some kind of false set formation. They're going to move them back 5 yards on the extra point.
Yeah, so this changes the trajectory of this second half, right? If Bedford comes out, they get a 3 and out, they punt the ball away, they're in trouble for the rest of the half. Now, it's only a 3-score game.
And they still have most of the second half to get something going here. Here's the extra point. Nice and high and true. It's good. So 28-7 now. Bedford gets on the board thanks to double personal foul penalties on the Panthers. Moves them deep into the territory, and Owen Christopher is able to run that in.
So both teams will regroup, get ready for the kickoff here. Joe Michael will kick off from the 40-yard line. Purple Panthers will get their receiving team, kickoff receiving team back out on the field. And again, this field position battle was an interesting story throughout the first half. And special teams has a significant impact on that. Michael has shown a strong leg throughout the season, as you saw on that extra point as well. He's back to kick off.
And a good kickoff drives the Panthers player back to the 10-yard line. And he's brought down at the 32, number 21, Tyler Armin.
So they'll take over on their own 27-28 about.
So let's see if we can get the Bedford defense to stiffen up here. Try to force the punt, get the ball back, try to draw a little closer in this game. 28-7 is the score. Panthers with 4 touchdowns in a row until just now. Owen Christopher able to get Bulldogs on the board. The handoff to Joshua Campo, and he just keeps moving the pile forward. Winds up picking up 7 yards up to the 34-yard line. Just pure power running there.
Good initial pop, but as you mentioned, he kept those legs running, moving up and down. Just probably got a couple of pushes from his offensive lineman too, and he ends up with a 7-yard gain.
So they're going to give Campo 6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 4 from the 34. Campo gets it again. This time he sweeps to his left up to near the 1st down, 37, 38-yard line. They're going to give him the first. Picks up those 4 yards.
Probably just went over 100 yards on the day with that second rush of the second half.
I believe you're right.
Close in the first half. And this is when Bedford needs a significant play, an interception, a fumble, some
or just
kind
a
of
good
turnover.
penalty maybe, just something to stem the momentum here.
Oh, they're not going to get it here.
Armin carries it up to the 50-yard line. Close enough for another 1st down.
That was that motion into that misdirection, so.
They're going to mark him short by a yard at the Panther 49. 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, 28-7, Panthers ahead.
Armin had some solid blocking out in front of him. Got past the line of scrimmage with very little resistance. Once you get to that second level, it becomes tougher for those backers and defensive backs to come up and make that tackle, especially if there's an offensive lineman leading the way.
That was a low snap that Keefe had to pick up around his ankles, but he was able to get the 1st down up to the 50-yard line. Called his own number there. So 1st and 10 now, right at midfield. Panthers with a new set of downs.
And time's ticking away here. 5:25 left in the 3rd quarter. And this is only the 2nd possession of the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's a good strategy on the part of the Panthers. Keep the ball away from Bedford.
Sure.
Campo gets the ball again, is able to break the 1st round of tackles, but then gets swarmed on the 2nd one. Picks up 3 yards, 3 or 4. They're going to mark him down at the 46-yard line in Bedford territory. Now we're at the 5-minute mark. Clock keeps ticking.
Yeah, and Nashua South doesn't need to do anything crazy here. They can keep the ball on the ground, good ball control offense, keep the clock ticking. And they're going to do the same thing again. Another draw to Campo up the middle.
And that's good for about 2 yards.
So this becomes a significant play here early in the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd and 5. Bedford wants to get this ball back. They do what they can here.
A roll out to the left and a throw.
Ooh, wow.
And a completion. Another great throw. That's the 4th time that Keefe has made that throw against his throwing arm, running left, throwing right.
That was a great catch there by Tyler Armin, too. He was falling down, wanted to secure the catch. Didn't worry about running afterwards, but hauled it in and got the 1st down.
Under 4 minutes to go. Keefe now carrying it, had to change direction. Goes to his left, gets it up to about the 30-yard line. It's going to pick up 2 yards there.
Yeah, quick feet there by Keefe, too. He started to go right up the middle, but saw it was very clogged right in the middle there. Bounced it back out to the left. But the Bulldogs were able to come up and keep him only to a 2-yard gain or so.
2nd down and 7 here. Now Keefe is rolling to his right. Kind of the same play as before to Armin, or actually what number 18 is the receiver there. That's Michael Rustein.
I'm a little bit surprised to see those 2 pass plays, but they're keeping the Bulldogs defense on their toes as they look to mix up the run play percentages here.
Just crossed under the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter.
And with those completions, they're keeping that clock going.
Motion. Bit of confusion there.
Good
Throw
catch.
over the middle, and that was uncatchable.
It was batted at the line of scrimmage. It looked like maybe Steele got his hands up, or one of those defensive linemen got a finger on it. Deflected it, which creates havoc in the defensive backfield.
Rolstein was the intended receiver there. That stops the clock. And it is a 4th down with 4 yards to go, and the Panthers will go here. So there's an opportunity for the Bulldogs to force another turnover on downs. The snap, a little bit of confusion there, but Keefe is able to pick up the 1st down anyway. Gets the edge. He's heading for the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Now that looked like a busted play at the start.
It sure did. He faked a handoff to the right side to nobody because nobody was coming through that hole there. And as you mentioned, it looks like a broken play that Keefe turns into a touchdown as he races around that left edge.
He shows some real speed.
He sure did.
Got around that corner, and that is his 2nd touchdown of the day. I guess it was 30. I think it's a 32-yarder there. And now the extra point by Wilson.
That's a backbreaker, too. That was 4th down. You get a stop there, and you're getting a little bit of momentum on your side. Instead, Keefe sticks a dagger.
And finally, a block kick there. Those low-line drivers finally were blocked. So the conversion fails. 34-7 is the score with 2:36 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and again, that was a contain issue on the Bulldogs defense. You really have to try to keep that player from getting the edge, force him back to the inside where you have pursuing players, the linebackers and other pursuing players from the defense are able to get back in position. Once they get the edge, it's trouble, especially with the speed you saw from Keefe.
I'm wondering, too, at this point, if Coach Matthews might give some of his bench players some time. Try to save players for the playoffs. Give his bench players some varsity time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised there. As we talked about, after that first drive, they scored that touchdown. It was within reach, but the Purple Panthers come back with a solid drive of their own after starting on their own 27, put together several positive plays, and marched down the field for a score. So, yes, I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of their backup players in the game as they try to preserve some of their starters for next week heading into the playoffs. 2:36 left here in the 3rd quarter as Evan Wilson's back to kick off.
And it looks like Dylan Kumbadi will pick up the ball at the 18-yard line, running straight ahead. And he's met right there by a pair of tacklers. Number 3, Luke Panyanovong. I hope I said that correctly. Was one of the tacklers, number 3.
Wow, that's a tough one. Panyanovong, I think you did a good job with that name, Harry. That's a tough one. I mean, Kozlowski, Munster Tiger, Panyanovong.
Hall of Fame of last names.
Putting you through the ringer tonight.
So Bedford takes over at the 31-yard line, trailing 34-7. 2:31 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Joe Michael is still in the game. Handoff and intercepted.
Yeah, that's gone.
It goes off the hands of the intended receiver, and it's going to get run back by Tyler Armin. I believe that's his 2nd touchdown, first defensive touchdown of the night. 40-0, 40-7. That was a play action pass that went off. Who was the intended receiver there?
It looked like it might have been Jack Carroll. He was in the slot or split wide. And this quick change, we see the Bedford defense scrambling on the field to try to defend the extra point here. But let's try to see what the replay was. It looked like it was Jack Carroll, number 8.
It just went right off his hands and right into the arms of Armin, who had nothing but green turf in front of him, ran it in.
Yeah.
And that extra point is good. So it is 41-7. I'm going to call that a 37-yard interception return.
35, 37, certainly more than 30. And
well, they were at the 31, so
yep.
36-yard line, let's call it that. So a 36-yard interception return
And
for Tyler Armin.
It was Jack Carroll. I think he was out there with Aaron Scaling, and they were running a crossing pattern out there. Rub route, getting a little separation from the defensive backfield. And it was there. And the ball just tipped off of Carroll's hands, and conveniently or inconveniently, depending on which team you're rooting for, it went right to Tyler Armin, and he took it back to the house.
So the clock has stopped at 2:22, and Bedford will be getting the ball back. And I believe from this point on, or will they? I was going to say, is this a run time? It might be just a point shy.
34. We're a point shy. We're at 10-9 here already, and this is a pretty long game. A lot of scoring, some penalties, some incomplete passes.
Dylan Kumbani brought down again by Panyanavong, number 3, right at the 30-yard line, about an 11-yard return on that kickoff.
He's doing a good job of getting in on these plays and making you say his name, isn't he?
Well, you know, we got kind of a late start. I had to drive in from Hanover before the game, so I was really rushing to get things set up for the broadcast. But normally I like to go through the rosters and read everybody's names to make sure there are no surprises.
Yep.
But I didn't have the chance to do that tonight, so that was the first time I laid eyes on number 3, Panyanavong.
Well, good job by Luke on that tackle.
Michael hands it off. I believe that's Irwin. Picks up about 2 yards on the play. So the Bulldogs still, a number of starters still in the game, despite trailing by 34. Under 2 minutes now in the third.
With the game is seemingly out of reach at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Matthews put in a few more substitutes, either along the offensive line or at his skill positions.
2nd down and 8 for the Bulldogs.
An unbalanced line here.
Hand off to Irwin. He sweeps to his left. He gets submarined right there. Number 9's the tackler, Lorenzo Abreu. Only a gain of about 2 more yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 here for the Bulldogs with 1:20 to go in the third.
Yeah, looking to get that outside edge to the left-hand side. The near side, which was into the boundary. So the Nashua South coaches are urging their players to watch the screen. We'll see if the play calling is that predictable.
3 receivers set. 2 are sent right. Kubani all alone on the left. Looks like a blitz is coming.
Sure is.
Picked up by 1 player, but the throw for Zwickau is too far in front of him.
Pressure up the middle by Cody Good.
Irwin picked up the one blitzer, number 18, Rutstein. But you're right, the Good was the 2nd rusher. He broke through the middle of the line. Carroll had to get rid of the ball. I'm sorry, Michael had to get rid of the ball.
And they had some man coverage on the outside, as you mentioned. They were showing blitz. They came with the heat up the middle. So if you have your wide receivers making some moves and getting open, you have a chance there. But
so they're going to punt, but the usual punter, Solomon Sanchez, is injured, shoulder injury. Instead, it's Joe Michael doing the punting, and it's kind of a wounded duck, but it gets a good roll.
Very good roll. Back to the 41-yard line as that landed probably around the 45. He probably got about a 15-yard roll on that.
He kind of sideswiped the ball, and it had a spin on it that caused it to roll. Worked out good. It'll be the Panthers' ball now. They're going to mark it out at their own 42-yard line with 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Might as well get a legal ID in here. It is WBNH LP Bedford 105.1. You're watching the Nashua South Panthers and Bedford Bulldogs on BCTV 23 and channel 1072, our HD channel. You're also watching it on channel 16 on Nashua TV. Happy to have our Nashua viewers with us, and of course on Bedford 105.1 FM radio. Panthers ready to go. They look like they're gunning for bear. They got 4 receivers out there. Motion by Abreu. And a handoff up the middle goes to Adam Picard. Is that 24?
34.
No, 34.
Yeah, so that's going to be Connor
Roswell.
And it looks like the Purple Panthers have put in some of their substitute players, as number 18, Michael Rutstein, is playing quarterback now. We have some different wide receivers out there, different running backs.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see the last of number 27, Campo.
I'm guessing he'll stay on the sideline.
Now Rutstein calls his own number, rushes to his left, but he gets submarined for a loss of 1. He's going to be down at the Bedford 49-yard line.
That'll do it for the third quarter.
So after 3 quarters, Panthers dominating 41, Bedford with 7. Looking at Twitter now, trying to get an update for some of the scores around. Looks like Winnicott, here's a tight one. They've got a 7-6 lead over whoever they're playing. Okay. Again, one of these only one team mentioned in the Twitter thing here. In the
love
tweet.
Those informative ones, huh?
Absolutely.
The marching band is playing a somewhat dreary rendition of their stand tunes, illustrative of the general feel here at Bedford High School this evening, as the football team has not put their best on the field this evening.
And we're ready to start the fourth quarter with the Panthers going right to left. Rutstein is the quarterback, replacing Keefe after 3 solid quarters there. And a handoff. Sweep to the right. Still on his feet. That's number 9, Lorenzo Abreu. And they're going to give him the first down. He picks up about 12 yards, gets him up to the 36. Goes out of bounds, stops the clock. Quick reminder, too, about the Bedford boys soccer team. They'll be taking on Goffstown next Wednesday in Goffstown. That's the first round of the Division I tournament. We wish them luck. Here's another sweep, this time to the left. And it looks like another first down pickup. Drew Fleury picks up 10, and an injury injures a Bedford player. It looks like
Bonnie's a little slow to get up, but he's back on his feet. Well, he ran over number 3 in the backfield there, Hayden Cheney.
Evan Shabati is going to come in for Kumbani. He's going to take a seat. I think we're going to see more and more of the Bedford starters come out.
Yep, Zwickau and Cheney have both come to the sideline. Kumbani came to the sideline. He's showing some frustration. And again,
false start there.
Looks like Steele's going to have a well, actually, never mind. That's going to be a false start on the offense. It looked like it might have been an encroachment call. Yeah. And the Purple Panthers are going to take a timeout with 11:28 left to go in the fourth quarter, leading 41-7 with a seemingly insurmountable lead at this point in time.
Yeah, I believe it's just a matter of running out the string here.
And as we mentioned, several of the Bedford starters have come to the sideline, so the backup players are going to get some time on the field. Actually a good amount of time. You know, nearly the entire fourth quarter. As they're 12-minute quarters, we only have 32 seconds gone. So we'll see what happens here with some of those younger players in there. at pretty much every position.
And here we go.
Rutstein's back in the pistol formation for South. Chats with Cody Good in the backfield as they get their play set. Abreu comes in motion and he'll take the handoff.
Started as a sweep and he decides to go up the middle, picks up about 4 yards. Gets it down to the 27.
Cal McAuliffe on the tackle there. He was trying to rip at the ball and get a fumble if he could. But Abreu does a good job of holding on to that ball. And
So
the
it's going
clock
to be
stays in motion.
2nd down and 12 here for the Panthers, taking their time. Now motion and a handoff to number 4, Fleury, sweeping to the left. Doesn't get much, about 3 yards.
Tackled out there by Owen Christopher.
Gets it up to about the 23-yard line. And that's going to bring about a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. So this is a game that just never got off on the right foot for the Bulldogs. A lot of mistakes early. Offense out of sync. Some tough penalties. And they kept giving the Panthers great field position in their end, making it easy for them to score. They didn't have far to go. But the Panthers are definitely the better team tonight.
Oh, without a doubt.
Cody Good takes the handoff up the middle. He's not going to have quite enough for the first. He's going to be close, though.
Yeah, you were mentioning that first half, Bedford, 3 out of 4 possessions were 3 and outs. So you need your offense to get on track, get some positive yardage, and stay on time, if you will. And they certainly couldn't do that early on, and it set the rest of the game in motion as Nashua South took advantage of good field position and solid offensive playmaking. Got out to an early and sizable lead and have coasted since.
Now Rutstein calls his own number, runs to the right. Couldn't find the edge, instead gets sealed off by the Bulldogs. He's going to wind up losing about 4 yards on the play back to the 20-yard line.
So that'll be a turnover on downs, and Bedford will take over. We'll see who comes in at quarterback. Looks like some of the starters are going back in there on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Dylan Combani's out there.
And Joe Michaels. Yeah, Joe Michaels talking to Coach Matthews, so it looks like the starters will stay in. And you might expect some ball control right here, right? Keep the ball on the ground. Let's do the smart thing. Keep the clock running, I'm guessing.
Basically try to make it a runtime game, even though it's officially one point shy of a runtime game.
Or you might take a different tact on it. Say, hey, we have some things to work on. We're going into playoffs next week. Let's work on our formations. Let's work on our plays and dig deep into the bag a little bit.
Handoff up the middle, good for about a yard or two. That was Urid. Russell Irwin gets the ball up to the 17-yard line. That'll be a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 coming up.
And we do have some substitutes on the defensive side for the Purple Panthers, as we see what seeming are a bunch of fresh numbers in there.
Handoff. Oh, it was a bit of a mix-up in the backfield. Michael decides to take it himself up to the 21-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4, but rather comical back there.
Yeah, and that right there is a perfect example of how out of sync the Bedford offense has been tonight.
Michael turned around to hand the ball off, and it was Irwin on his wrong side. Then they tried to shift, and both players wound up being on the wrong side again because they both went to the opposite side. Then finally, Michael was able to get ahead and pick up 4 yards. 3rd and 6 right now at the 20. They got to get to the 26-yard line. The snap, hands it off now. And it's going to be close, but still short, only up to about the 24, number 41
Logan
carrying
Sphere
for
on
that.
Yep. About fourth and 3. They're going to punt this away.
And Joe Michael will take care of that since Sanchez is out of the game with an injury.
So it's a little subtle thing, but the drop is very important for a punter. He's got to keep that ball relatively flat so he can get a good foot on it. The last drop from Joe Michael, was spinning as he kicked it. It makes it really hard to get a good punt out.
That was a decent snap, but he had to get it away quickly. He had a defender in his face.
Much better drop, though. And you saw the result was a much better punt.
High arching kick and is downed at the Bedford 46-yard line where the Panthers will take over. We have 6:31 to go here in the game with the Nashua South Panthers in the lead 41-7.
And those second stringers will come back out for the Panthers. 6.5 left, as you said.
Got another score from D1. BG has I just had that BG score, now it went away. I'll have to look it up. Here we go. 21-0 over Keene with 8 minutes to go in the game.
And yet a new quarterback in there. It's Karsten Lemire.
Calls his own number, picks up a few yards, 2 yards to be exact. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Sauhegan defeats Timberlane 41-8. Exeter over Portsmouth, that's who they were playing, 35-6. I believe that was a play down between two last place teams, so Exeter is going to get to advance in the tournament. There's Cody Good carrying it up to the 40-yard line, gets 4 yards on that carry.
Yep, gang tackling there by the Bedford defense as linebackers and some of the D-backs get in there to converge on that tackle.
And the Winnicott Warriors, they were playing Spalding. They lead them 13-7. Merrimack defeating Alvern, or actually at the end of 3, it's 44-7 there. Now 51-7, that's the latest score. Now here's a sweep to the left. Short of the first down.
Cal McAuliffe in there with a good play on the outside edge here. Took on a tackler, shed him, got his nose back into the inside and made that tackle. Good play by McAuliffe.
Ryan Salemi was the ball carrier there for Nashua. 4th and 1, they'll just go for it here.
Yeah, this is going to turn into a tough week of practice for the Bulldogs. And this is not a great showing. They're going into playoffs. They have clearly several things to work on.
And this looks like it's going to convert. Cody Good picking up about 5 yards on the carry. Will set them up at the 31-yard line with a fresh set of downs.
Move those sticks. Clock keeps running. Yeah, Coach Matthews, like I said, is going to need to focus on mainly the offensive side of the ball. That's where the confusion was. That's where they were not clicking early on. And certainly the defense, mainly the contain on those outside runs.
Here's motion. Number 9, Abreu picks it up, cuts inside, and is stopped immediately for no gain at the 31-yard line. Got a little bit of unofficial news here for all you Tom Brady fans. I think Antonio Brown has just joined the Buccaneers.
Oh, wow.
They keep collecting talent.
Did you pick Antonio Brown up for your fantasy football team there, Harry?
No,
Oh, wow.
I think I'm not sure what my waiver placement is. I think it's fairly low since I'm only 2 and 4. So maybe I could pick them up.
Wow, fascinating. As we know, that experiment didn't last long in New England.
No, but Tom always liked Antonio, didn't he?
He sure did. He sure did. Nice tackle on that play by number 16, Hunter Fennessy. Got up there and made a stick on Cody Good.
So it's 3rd and 6 now. They're at the 27-yard line. Clock is ticking. Panthers happily just let the clock run. We're under 3 minutes now.
You think there's any other free agencies that Bedford might be able to pick up? No? Antonio Brown? Yeah,
Josh Gordon? Is he available? Is he still suspended?
Might still be suspended.
Any high school eligibility? Ooh. There's a pass out to the flat. Ooh. To Salemi. Yeah. He gets close to a first.
Gridzinkas and Hunter Fennessy were on the tackle there.
Another 4th down and 2 here. He's at the 28-yard line. He's got to get to the 26. 4th and 2. We're coming up on 2 minutes to play. Actually, correction, he's on the 23-yard line.
What do you think? Karsten Lemire, keeper right up the middle. No, he's going to hand it off. It's still right up the middle, and he's still going.
Almost just shy of the touchdown. That is number 3. Is that Panyanavong who carried the ball?
He sure is, and he's making you say his name again.
Gets it down to the 2-yard line, 1st and goal at the 2.
He shot some wheels there up into the hole in the middle there. It was impressive. He took that hand off and saw the hole and had a nice burst through the line of scrimmage there.
So the Panthers trying to add an exclamation point here on the Bulldogs. This is a game that Bedford's going to want to forget in a hurry. Get ready for next week for the tournament. T formation in the backfield.
Okay, that's a classy
very
move.
Classy. I was going to say that's a very classy move. They take the knee instead of running the score up.
You know, unfortunately for some of those younger players, they're on the 2-yard line. They want to see pay dirt. But
yeah, Panyanavong is going to want to get that 6.
Yep, but kudos to Nashua South for taking a knee there and running out the clock. There's no need to put in, another 6 or 7 points on the board. So game's out of reach, and they'll go into their own version of victory formation.
So the knee makes them drop back a few yards, back to the 7. And they're just waiting. We're at 50 seconds here. If they can get it down to 40, they'll be able to not have to run another play. So they'll have to do one more. They kneel down at 45. And they'll be down at the 10-yard line, another 3-yard loss. But it's all done, like you said, just being very classy, not trying to run the score up on the Bulldogs. So we'll call it a final. 30 seconds to go here. 41-7. Really impressive game here from a team that I think some of us had the wrong impression of at 1 and 2. There's another kneel down, and that'll do it. So the Bulldogs dropped to 3 and 2, and they need to shake this one off and get ready for the playoffs next week. We'll find out tomorrow who they'll play and where they'll play. But this could be a good wake-up call for the team, for Zach Matthews and his guys. Hopefully, Solomon Sanchez, he injured his shoulder on that tackle. Hopefully, he'll be ready for next week. And it may be tough to lose him.
They may see Medicine Ellie back, too. As we mentioned, he was recovering from a ankle or lower leg injury of some sort. As the two teams salute each other near midfield and won't shake hands, but wish each other luck as they head into the playoffs. And as you mentioned, we'll see what happens in the coming week. But tomorrow, we'll see what the matchups are.
Well, we'll wrap up the broadcast here. Corey Munster, Tiger, thank you again for